Alrighty guys, what is going up? Welcome back to the Best Investing Money Management channel on YouTube. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to swing trade in 2022. Now, the very first thing, you have to understand about swing trading is, what is it? Well, swing trading is pretty much when you buy a stock, you hold it for more than a day, but less than a year. And the reason why you do that is because if you buy it and sell a stock during that same trading day, that's considered a day trade. It's a different strategy, tax bracket, all that good stuff. But if you hold it more than a year, in my opinion, then you're getting into almost like a long-term investment. Similar thing, different strategy, different tax bracket. So the very first thing you have to do is find stocks, right? You could have the absolute best trading strategy out there, but if you're not picking the right stocks, you're going to lose money. So the very first thing you need is a screener. So for me, I use Thinkorswim or TD Ameritrade, and they do have a scanning feature, but some of you guys out there won't have access to that. Maybe you guys are using Robinhood or Fidelity or Charles Schwab or SoFi or anything like that. So right here, this is Finvest. So Finvest is a stock screener, and this pretty much allows you to filter through different stocks that meet your criteria. And the overall idea behind this is it filters out all those stocks, and then you find stocks that meet your criteria, that meet your strategy. So the first thing that you can do is you go to this groups tab here, so you can see the day performance by sector, week. Then you can have the month, the 3-month, the half a year, 1 year. So you can see energy has been up very, very strong. So this is up 33%. So you can see generally energy is a pretty decent one. We had a little bit of some sell-off, it looks like, but it's still a good one. Technology too is very, very good. So maybe energy might be starting to make a little turnaround because you can see the week performance, it's up quite a bit. So the next thing you like to do, this just gets you a good idea of some of the growing sectors. So when you make swing trades, maybe those are going to be the stocks you kind of gravitate towards, but you don't have to do this. So the next thing I like to do is go to the screener tab. So this is where you're going to put in all of your information. So it puts the descriptive, fundamental, technical. I like to click this all tab because it puts them all together. So the next thing I do is I click price. Now, price is going to be 100% up to you. For me, I really like to capitalize on share size. So we can go like under 30 or under 20, and we can always change it. So, we're having a hard time finding stocks, maybe we can adjust some of these. So then I like to make sure that people are interested in this stock. I want to make sure that there is some volume. So I like to go over 500,000 or over 750. So we'll go over 500. We can always change it. So the next thing I like to do is go to relative volume. So the relative volume is virtually the overall demand for this stock. You want to make sure it's pretty much over like a 0.5, 0.75. We'll go over 0.5 and we can always change it later. So then you can see we still have 1,000 stocks on here, right? And is that bad? No. But the next thing you want to do is make sure that there is a pattern. So for me, I like to find stocks that are on somewhat of a support if I'm going to go long into it, or if I'm going to short it, I want it to be on resistance. So we'll go trend line, support, strong. And like I said, we can always change it. So the next thing that you see is it drop from over 1,000 stocks to about 64 stocks. So now I like to click this charting tab. And another thing you can do too, so if you wanted to have, energy stocks, you can do that and you can see there's 5 stocks. So looking at this, you can see EC could be very, very well on a support line, which could bring opportunity. So for now, I want to go back to my charting and I want to type it in and do more technical analysis, right? Swing trading does not require fundamental analysis. It requires technical. So we'll type in EC and we'll click it. So you can see right here, we are on the 10-year chart, which you don't need to look at a 10-year chart when swing trading. We like to go to the 1 year or 3 year or the 180 days, right? One of these. We'll go 1 year. We can always see how it's looking. All right, so looking at this, the very first thing that I see is quite a bit of resistance, right? So there is a resistance at about $14. You can see it has a hard time breaking above it. It hits it once, twice. It does break over, immediate sell-off, hits it again. So pretty much anything over 14 is very, very hard resistance. Okay, so the hardest resistance would be the highs there. So this is going to be resistance in here. Support, on the other hand, it does look like we do have a little bit of a trend line support. So we can actually draw that out right on all the lows, just like that. So you can see every time it hits that trend line, we do get a little bit of some buying pressure. So it hits it, buying pressure, hits it, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure, buying pressure. So me personally, there could be an opportunity for a swing trade on EC. So now if you would hop into this, you could set your first profit at about $14, which would give a return of about 8%. Now you could set your stop loss directly below this, which would be about, let's go ahead, about a 4% risk. So virtually you're risking 4% to possibly make 8%, which is a 2-to-1 risk and reward, which is decent. We like to try to find 3 or 4%, or 3-to-1 or 4-to-1, excuse me. So the next thing you like to do is just continue to look through and find these stocks that meet your criteria. And we don't have to have the energy sector. We just know that it could be turning around. So then you just go through and you want to find stocks that are on this trend line, right on that support line. So the biggest thing is, if you can't find anything, is that fine? Absolutely. That's completely fine if you don't find opportunity. Each day brings different stocks that could be hitting your criteria. So if you're doing this, and if that's just say you find one stock a day or 2 stock, a week, that could be an extra $100, $200. And the only thing that is separating for somebody making, $50 a week to $500 a week is one thing, and that's share size. So as long as you're continuing to grow your account, it's just a matter of time before you see, those better, higher value profit and losses. So something like ORGN does look like it does have a little bit of some opportunity. We can pull it up. One thing I don't like is we have that year sell-off. So for this one, we have that general upward trend. So we know there is a tendency to see some buying pressure with it. This one might be a little different just because of the natural sell-off in it. ORGN. So you can see it does have a lot of sell-off, and it does have a decent amount of support right on the trend line too. So for this, I don't like how we have this. Okay, so sellers are in control of the stock. And yeah, there could be a little move from here, but the risk and reward doesn't make it when it makes sense. So then you just continue to find stocks, you filter through it. And if you have a hard time, you can go, another thing you can do is horizontal support and resistance. I've always had a good tendency with, so you can find stocks that that meet some good criterias, that are on some support lines. So something like ADT, we can pull it up, ADT. So you can see heavy support down in here. So this one might have a little bit of some opportunity. ADT right there. So you can see it hits that support several times, and we had that natural price support. So once, we got a lot of sell off right in here, could be hitting some resistance in the near future at about 882. Now, one thing that I always like to look at, so you can see right in there, the general resistance support hits that, hits that natural support, setting stops directly below it. So you could be risking, we can do the risk and reward. You could be risking about 2-3% to possibly make, if it goes back up to natural resistance, that's 9%. All the way up here would be 12%. So you're virtually risking, 2 to 3% to possibly make 8 to 12%, which would be a very, very good risk and reward. One thing you always have to make sure is we have that natural upward trend, which we do, which is really, really good. So guys, that is pretty much how you guys can start swing trading stocks in 2022. The biggest thing is finding stocks and, start building an account, whether it's paper trading. That's what I always recommend. So you can start, developing a strategy that works well for you. And then from there, you can start growing a small account, build it up. And the only thing, like I said, that is separating somebody from making, $50 a week to $500 a week is the share size. So you just have to start compounding your account, and before you know it, you guys will be there. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. My hair is absolutely a mess. I need a haircut, but we will see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and stay safe. Take care.